What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm back here again with yet another Dollar Tree haul. This time I think I got about 30 titles, mostly DVD. I think I've got 7 Blu-rays, the rest are DVD. But let's go ahead and let's start with the DVDs since we have more of those. Okay, so this first one I'm going to start with is actually, I'm just going to get this one out of the way first, but it's not from the Dollar Tree. I actually got this at the Big Lots. I believe it was a couple weekends ago. They had this deal where with your purchase you got to choose one DVD as long as it was $3 or under. So I went ahead and I found one that looked interesting to me. So I got this one for free. It's called Wormwood Road of the Dead. This is actually a IFC Midnight Scream Factory release, but it looked interesting. The top has a little blurb that says Mad Max meets Dawn of the Dead. So check that out, see what that's all about. Next up we got one, this one is called The Dinosaur Project. I actually passed over this one like 2 or 3 different times when I found them. I think I've seen this at like every single Dollar Tree in my area, but I looked into it. It's actually a found footage film. It's like a found footage like dinosaur thriller. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I actually just watched this recently. It's not bad. It's actually it's pretty good for an independent film. Next up we got season 3 part 2 of The Angry Beavers, if you remember that show back in Nickelodeon in the late 90s. Pretty great show. I thought it was pretty funny. It is like a really random volume of the TV show, but I figured for $1 it comes with 2 discs. I think it says like 4 hours of episodes, so 4 hours for $1, that's awesome. Up next here we got another one of those giant 8-pack collections. This includes Apartment 1303, and then it looks like one called 13 The Conspiracy Part 1, 13 The Conspiracy Part 2, Insight, Brotherhood, 50 Dead Men Walking, Forget Me Not, and Naked Fear. I don't know. I don't think I've seen any of those, but I mean, 8 movies for $1? No brainer. Next up we got one called Andron. I picked this up because, I mean, obviously you see Alec Baldwin on the cover, so I thought that was interesting. It looked kind of sci-fi. I watched this one though, and I mean, Alec Baldwin is in it, but he's not in it for very long, and his character's kind of and the movie's just, I didn't like it. I kind of got bored with it, to be honest. This next one I watched as well, called Bomb City. This movie is fantastic. It's kind of it's based on a true story. If you remember back in I believe it was in the late 90s, like 97, 98, it's about Brian Dennehy. He was a punk kid that was going to school, and he basically, well, I don't want to ruin it, but it's basically like a battle of the classes, kind of like the town was against him because he looked different, and I don't know, you got to check that out. It's really good. Honestly, I was very shocked with this independent film, but I highly recommend that one. Alright, next up we got Intruders. I actually got this on I think a 3-pack on my last video, or one of my last videos, from the executive producer of Paranormal Activity and Insidious. Pretty good one. I would check that one out too. Next up we got Tom Green Live. I mean, self-explanatory. I love Tom Green, so that was not hard for me to choose. And then there's also a special feature, which is the history of the Tom Green Show. Pretty good. It's like a 30-minute little documentary style special feature, but Yeah, not bad if you like Tom Green. Next up, we got Whatever Works with Larry David. I mean, I loved Larry David. He's freaking hilarious. Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm. So, I don't know what this is about. It's a comedy, obviously, but I picked it up because Larry David. Next up, there's another one I picked it up because it has James Gandolfini in it from The Sopranos. It's called Down the Shore. It says James Gandolfini's most substantial role to date, according to Variety. Watch this one. It's not bad. It's an average kind of drama, but you know. Next up, we got a Shout Factory release. This one is called Blaze. This one was actually directed by Ethan Hawke. I think this was actually his first like major film. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that it was his first one. It is about a folk singer named Blaze Foley, played by Ben Dickey, the actor. He did a fantastic job. I actually really liked this one. It's just based on a true story about his life. It's pretty good. Next one, we got one called The Insufferable Gru with Jack Black. Don't know anything about this other than the fact that it says the most prolific filmmaker you've never heard of. So, give that one a watch. This one here is called Indigenous. I picked this up because it looks like one of those, wandering in the woods as a group and get lost, except I think they're in, I don't know if they're in like another country or something when they get lost in like they're in a tropical island and they get lost or something like that, but it says evil is out there. So that looks cool. Check that out. Next up, we got Batman, A Killing Joke, animated show by DC. I picked this up. I've always been a Batman fan, and I love the Joker, so should be pretty cool. Next up, we got one I've already seen before, but it's an awesome movie, and I highly recommend it. It's called Running Scared. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. I think he did a great job. This is probably one of my favorite movies that he's done. I'm not a huge fan of the Fast and Furious movies, but they're okay. This one says, makes Kill Bill look like Sesame Street. So, yeah, check that out. If you see that one, pick it up. Running Scared. This next one here I've never seen, but it intrigued me because I've seen the first one. T2 Trainspotting. So, the sequel to Trainspotting with Ewan, I don't know how to say his name, Ewan McGregor. That should be pretty good. Next up, we got a double feature here, National Lampoon Vacation and National Lampoon European Vacation. I cannot remember the European Vacation, so I'm kind of looking forward to watching that one. But the original one is hilarious. So that's definitely a good find. And that's actually 2 discs, it's not all on 1 disc. Next up here, we got another double feature. This one is Police Academy and a Police Academy 2. They actually put this one on the same disc, which is fine. But when I was a kid, I think this was made in 1984, 1985, these movies. I was born in 86, but when I was a kid, I remember I used to have these weird Police Academy figures, and I'd play with them all the time, and I had like the Police Academy car. I think it's funny that they made like a bunch of action figures out of this movie. It's a PG-13. It says rated R and PG-13. Like, kids were playing with that? It's just crazy to me. I probably had no idea what was going on with the movie. This next one here is an animated one called Planet 51. I've never seen it, but I think this is the first animated movie that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was in, if I'm not mistaken. This one came out in 2009. So, I mean, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing in a kind of sci-fi family animated show. Thought it looked cool. Next up, we got another double feature. This one is The Losers and Rock and Rolla, which is I believe a Guy Ritchie film. Yep, never seen that one. Losers is okay. I think it's based off of like a comic book story, but not bad. It's cool. Next up, we got one called Weirdsville. This one, This one I got it because it looks weird as hell, to be honest. It's called Weirdsville. On the back it says Satan, drugs, zombie Taryn Manning, and tiny mall cops. That's basically what sold me on it, to be honest. It's gonna be weird. Next up we got a TV series. I believe it's Ip Man. It might be IP Man. I hear people say it both ways. I don't know, but this is season 1 of the TV show. Look forward to watching that. I like the original movie at least. Next up we got one called Yakuza Apocalypse. And this one is deceiving. If you look at it, it looks like just some sort of a samurai martial arts movie, but it's actually kind of like got a twist if you read the back. It's like a vampire samurai movie, which sounds insane. But that looks interesting. We'll check that one out. Alright, so that will be it for the DVDs on this one. This is part 2. I'm probably going to do a part 3 later on because I don't want to drown you guys in content on one video. The next one here is a Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler title, The House. Pretty funny movie. They basically are trying to get money for their daughter to have a scholarship because I guess the city was supposed to pay for it, but then they lied to them, and so they basically are running an underground poker a poker house at their house, and it gets insane, as you would think with a Will Ferrell movie. Next up we got the original Westworld movie from, I believe, 1973. I've always wanted to watch this. I've just never seen it, but the TV show on HBO, Westworld, was based off this movie. So that looks like a crazy sci-fi treat. Next up we got a classic, Friday. Who hasn't seen Friday? Hilarious movie. Ice Cube, Chris Tucker. Classic. Didn't own that for some reason. Next up we got a looks like a biopic, Life Itself, about the life of Roger Ebert. This is I didn't know much about Roger Ebert besides the fact that he was a movie critic, but this is a fantastic film. It's just very, very well done. It's a touching film. I would highly recommend, if you see that, pick that up. I've only seen that in one store, but yeah, definitely pick that one up. This one is called Frank. I've seen a lot of people pick this up in prior months' hauls. That store that I found this at, this is the only one I've ever found, but it looks very strange, but I love strange, and it says bizarrely brilliant. I don't know. Apparently this dude just plays music and wears this giant head the whole movie. I don't know. If you guys have seen these movies, let me know in the comments. I would love to know your opinions of them, and then I'll watch them and I'll see what I think. Next up we got a Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling movie, The Nice Guys. Never even heard of this movie. Seems like something I would have because it's got 2 big actors in it, but let me know if you guys have seen this. And this will be the last one for this haul, guys. This is another IP Man DVD, The Final Fight. Didn't even know this existed. And after looking into this, I guess this story doesn't go along with the original trilogy, which is kind of strange. I think it's just like an offshoot, if I read that correctly, but it's It Man, IP Man, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that'll do it for this part 2 of the December haul, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching as usual. Please let me know what you think about this video. If you think any of these DVDs are cool, if you found any, let me know what you guys found. And then we'll I'm just always so curious because I find random titles that I feel like other people do not see, and then I watch their videos and they have some that I've never seen, and then I'll see them like 3 months later. It's so strange. I don't know how they choose what areas get what. I feel like I'm on the West Coast. I feel like the East Coast gets stuff different times than we do. It's just, I don't know, it's interesting. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. And we'll see you again soon for part 3 of this haul. Take it easy, and Happy New Year.